Hi, it's Kathy from Safewise, and if you saw my kids' smartwatch testing video, you know that I had trouble with the TickTalk 5, but I have tested it and I am here today to share my results. Let's talk about the good news first. So the audio quality is actually really good. When you make phone calls, it sounds crystal clear, absolutely no complaints there. And in terms of battery life, it actually led the pack. So I took it off the charger at the exact same time that I took the other watches off their chargers when I originally did the testing, and checked it again the next day at the exact same time. And the TickTalk 5 had 63% battery life left, which made it a winner. The runner-up would then be my first at 59%. SOS Calling also works as expected. It does place a phone call to the emergency contact, and the emergency contact also gets a push notification while the phone is ringing saying that their child has placed an emergency call, so that's nice. Also, if you are the parent, the emergency contact, and you go into the TickTalk 5 app, it immediately plays a message that says you need to contact your child right away because they placed an SOS call. So that's a nice little layer of backup. Location history is a little bit different on the TickTalk 5, but I like it. It is actually a video that plays. You get to, set which start date and time and end date and time you want to watch, and then it will play a little video showing you exactly where your child went at what times. So that's kind of cool. Now for the bad news. Everybody wants to know how these watches do with GPS tracking, and for the most part, other kids' smartwatches had at least one test result where they were spot on, but with the TickTalk 5, it was off by 30 or 50 feet on all of my tests, including the indoor test. So I'm going to put my screenshots on the screen, and I've got purple dots showing you where I actually was, and then you'll see the marker from TickTalk 5 showing where it thought I was, and you can see that it's off. So again, like I said in the other video, if you just want a general idea of where your child is, this watch will give you that. But if you need to know exactly where your child is, like in a crowded situation, then it doesn't have that precision. And just a reminder, geofencing is not available in the TickTalk 5, so I wasn't able to test that. And this watch also does video calling, which I was excited about, but guys, I've seen better. It was fuzzy, I have to admit. I'll share a screenshot of what it looked like on my phone, and you can judge for yourself. So even though it did well with battery life and it has good audio, I think you can get better GPS tracking and video calling in other kids' smartwatches if that's important to you. Make sure you watch my big video where I tested all of my favorite kids' smartwatches to see which ones performed best. But I don't think the TickTalk 5 is really going to disrupt the rankings in that video. And I want to address setup. You might be wondering, okay, Kathy, if you had trouble setting up the TickTalk 5 and you know what you're doing with kids' smartwatches, am I going to have trouble setting up the TickTalk 5? And the answer is no, I don't think you will, but it is more of an involved process than other kids' smartwatches because you have to activate a SIM card and then go through a whole process of pairing the watch. But the issue I had was that I simply had an old watch that was first given to Safewise when the TickTalk 5 came out several years ago, and our SIM card expired, and I just had to get a new one, reset the watch and do a software update, and then that old watch started to work just fine. But TickTalk 5 did reach out to me after watching my main video, and they said, hey Kathy, that Lime TickTalk 5 that you are testing is actually an older one, and we have a new model that we would prefer that you test just so that you have all the up-to-date features. And the newer TickTalk 5 setup, totally fine, not a big deal. Like I said, just a little bit more involved. Okay, I have so much more kids smartwatch content to bring you guys, so if you want to get notified right away when my latest videos come out, make sure that you subscribe to the Safewise channel, and I'll see you in the next one.